Okay, let's unpack this. Many educators, they feel like they're fighting a bit of an uphill battle, trying to keep students truly engaged in, well, today's fast-paced world. What if the answer isn't just more content, but like a radical shift in how we teach? So today we're diving into Dr. Atara Isaacson's groundbreaking 2025 book. It's called Creative Methods in Teaching and Learning, Fostering Teacher-Student Success. And we want to pull out the essential strategies for, modernizing education. We'll explore how these creative methods can boost engagement, maybe redefine the teacher's role, and even help overcome learning obstacles.
Precisely. And Dr. Isaacson, she's an interdisciplinary researcher, a senior lecturer at Bar-Ilan University. Her work covers a lot: education, musicology. But it's all centered on fostering creative thinking and really understanding those teacher-student relationships. Our book gives us a pretty clear roadmap, actually. So our mission today really is to offer you a shortcut to understanding its most important insights.
Okay, so our deep dive then. We'll cover the central argument, which is that creative methods are crucial. Crucial for fostering interest, engagement, and improving those teacher-student relationships and student achievement too. We'll also look at the evolving role of the teacher, how it's redefined as more formative, more influential, like a leader.
Yeah, and we'll also delve into specific methodologies, things that promote creativity and independent learning, like constructivist teaching, and this powerful idea of the game as a creative learning tool. We'll touch on practical ideas for motivating students, fostering dialogue, handling discipline, and the critical role of parents. That comes up too, which it kind of raises an important question, doesn't it? How can these innovative approaches empower you, whether you're an educator, maybe a learner yourself, or just, passionate about the future of learning?
Let's start with that central argument then, because it really does set the stage. Dr. Isaacson asserts that adopting creative teaching methods isn't just a nice to have, is it? It's essential for generating real interest and engagement, and importantly for both students and teachers. And crucially, it positively impacts those teacher-student relationships and ultimately student achievement. It's a very holistic view of educational success.
And what's particularly insightful, I think, is that the book isn't just theory. Dr. Isaacson actually talks about effective experiments she conducted, in workshops with practicing teachers and also student teachers. So this practical foundation, it really underscores her argument that these methods actively modernize teaching to better align with the needs of the 21st century. It's about moving from abstract ideas to concrete strategies that, genuinely work in the classroom.
That makes perfect sense. It feels like a huge hurdle for a lot of educators is, moving beyond those traditional methods. Does the book address that kind of inherent resistance? And how does she see the teacher's role transforming to sort of overcome it? Because it's not just about delivering content anymore, right?
You're absolutely right. It's a significant shift. The book clarifies and, redefines the role of the teacher as an influential and formative figure. Even as that role has, naturally evolved over time, it frames the teacher as leader, someone who guides, mentors, and fosters an environment where students can really thrive. This goes way beyond just imparting information. It's about shaping the whole learning journey.
All right. So if we're moving towards this redefined role, the next step is, how do we actually do it? What specific methodologies does Dr. Isaacson really champion? To foster that creativity and independent learning? She talks quite a bit about constructivist teaching. What does that actually look like day to day?
Right. Constructivist teaching. As she explores it in the book, it's really about creating learning experiences where students actively construct their own understanding rather than just passively receiving information. Think of it like this. Instead of a teacher just lecturing on how a bicycle works, students might be given the parts and encouraged to assemble it themselves. Learning by doing, maybe failing a bit, problem solving. It's profoundly learner-centric, and it ties directly into fostering creative thinking, which is cool. For Dr. Isaacson, it's really about building knowledge, not just absorbing it.
And then there's this other really fascinating concept, the game as a creative learning tool. That sounds like a lot more fun than traditional lectures, I have to say. I can almost picture it, a classroom buzzing with activity, students so absorbed they don't even realize they're grasping complex stuff. How does she expand on that?
Exactly. Yeah, this concept really highlights how games can be powerful vehicles for creative learning. It leverages the inherent engagement, the problem-solving aspects of games to create these dynamic educational experiences. A well-designed educational game isn't just about memorizing facts, right? It forces critical thinking, strategic planning, often teamwork skills that are absolutely essential for fostering creativity and independent learning. It turns learning into, an adventure, not a chore.
That approach definitely sounds promising. But, motivating learning, that can be one of the toughest challenges educators face. Does the book offer truly, novel ideas for motivating learning, or is it more refining existing strategies?
Well, it delves into practical approaches to spark and sustain student motivation. And it really tries to move beyond just extrinsic rewards, like grades, to tap into intrinsic drive. For instance, Dr. Isaacson advocates for things like challenge-based learning, where students tackle real-world problems together collaboratively, or choice architecture, which empowers them to select aspects of their own learning journey. It's all about making learning personally relevant and engaging, which is, far more powerful than just getting a gold star.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it speaks directly to educators with chapters titled The New Face of Education and something called The 10 Commandments for Effective Teaching. What kind of transformative principles are we talking about there? Are they literal commandments?
Not quite literal commandments carved in stone. The New Face of Education tackles the shifts and challenges facing, contemporary educational systems. It advocates for a more responsive and adaptive approach. As for the 10 Commandments for Effective Teaching, they're less rules and more like transformative philosophies, born from her extensive research. Among them, she highlights things like thou shalt foster a growth mindset, emphasizing that mistakes are learning opportunities. And another one, thou shalt design for discovery, encouraging students to find answers rather than just be given them. These are really foundational guidelines for educators trying to be truly effective in this modernized landscape.
Okay, moving into the really practical side of the classroom then. The book also covers methods that encourage dialogue and dealing with disciplinary problems. How does dialogue fit into these creative methods, and what kind of solutions are offered for, disciplinary issues?
Fostering dialogue is absolutely crucial. It helps create an active, participatory learning environment, somewhere students feel comfortable expressing ideas and engaging critically with the material. It's about moving beyond the teacher as the sole dispenser of knowledge and creating a space where students feel safe, encouraged to ask why, to challenge, to build on each other's ideas, almost like a collaborative brainstorming session instead of just a lecture. Regarding disciplinary problems, the book offers structured strategies to overcome these obstacles, recognizing that effective management is pretty essential if you want creative exploration to happen.
Right, you need that foundation, and it seems to round out the practicalities with effective and benevolent procedures, and also the relationship between teachers and parents. Why are these dynamics so important in Dr. Isaacson's framework?
Well, when Dr. Isaacson talks about effective and benevolent procedures, she's really emphasizing the importance of classroom guidelines. Guidelines that are not only clear and consistent, but also rooted in empathy and respect. This could mean things like co-creating classroom rules with the students, perhaps, or implementing structured cooling-off periods rather than immediate punishment. It fosters a sense of shared responsibility and emotional safety. And the dynamic between teachers and parents is critical because, well, education is a shared responsibility, isn't it? The book really emphasizes this collaboration, recognizing that parental involvement and understanding can significantly impact student success, and it helps reinforce what happens in the classroom at home.
Okay, bringing it all together then. The book concludes with a look to the future, investing in education. What's the main emphasis in that final chapter?
That final chapter really underscores the long-term vision, the commitment required for educational advancement. It frames education as an investment, and not just financially, but also in terms of time, effort, and crucially innovative thinking. It's a powerful call to action, basically, highlighting that fostering teacher-student success through creative methods isn't just about individual classrooms, it's actually about shaping the future of society.
So what does this all mean then? Our deep dive into Dr. Isaacson's creative methods in teaching and learning. It really highlights that education isn't just about conveying information, is it? It's about igniting a spark. It's about empowering teachers with fresh, constructivist methods, like using games as tools, perhaps, and redefining their role as these influential leaders.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it underscores the profound impact that creativity, motivation, and those strong teacher-student relationships can have on student achievement and engagement. It's about moving beyond traditional approaches to meet the needs of the 21st century, by fostering dialogue, managing challenges effectively, and integrating parents into the whole process.
Yeah, this deep dive really shows us that investing in creative educational methods isn't just about improving test scores. It's more about building a foundation for lifelong learning and innovation. And for you listening, this knowledge offers a fresh lens, maybe, through which to view education. Imagine applying some of these creative methods in your own work, perhaps in team training, or even just how you approach your kids' homework. It's about unlocking potential, not just for students, but really in any context where learning and growth are key. Consider, for instance, how Dr. Isaacson's research on flow states in learning, often achieved through those game-based methods, how that could transform adult professional development.
Which leads us to an important question for you to consider. If fostering creative thinking in teaching leads to greater interest and engagement for both learners and educators, what might be the ultimate long-term impact on society if these methods were, say, universally adopted? Shaping generations to come, what would that look like?